Ryan Edenborough, the head guide, right? What's the name of the lodge I'm at?
Red Pine Wilderness.
Red Pine Wilderness. Up, well, I guess we're on the northern boundary of smallmouth bass like this.
That's
eh?
right.
We are. Stick with us. We're way up in northern Ontario, and we're going fishing. I'm gonna put this guy over the side.
Sounds good. Let's get another one.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Ontario, more to discover, Yamaha Motor Canada, and by Montana's Cookhouse. Closed captioning of Going Fishing is brought to you by Fish Crisp. Now you'd think he'd just be satisfied to simply jump in his boat and enjoy the rewards of a lake as renowned for its sport fishery as Lady Evelyn, located up in the James Bay Frontier tourist region of Ontario. Here on the main lake, the scenery is spectacular. The water is clear, and the fishing for walleye and northern pike can only be described as hot, really hot. But today, Darryl Choronzey is portaging up and over a mountain to a lake referred to by the locals as sweeter than sugar. Like many northern Ontario portage lakes, it's a small body of water, seldom visited by anglers and yet reputed to provide a real wilderness experience when it comes to smallmouth bass and smallmouth bass fishing. Stay with us as Choronzey and Red Pine Wilderness Lodge head guide Ryan Edenborough make the portage in the hunt for sweeter than sugar's spunky smallmouth.
Ryan?
Oh, nice fish, Darryl.
What's the name of this rock?
The VW rock, actually.
The VW.
Yeah.
Now, we pull up to the VW rock. I make one cast, right, with a power minnow, and we get ourselves a bass. Now, this little guy's about a pound. How many pounders are you going to get in this lake?
In one day, on average, I'd say at least 50.
At least 50 like
Yeah,
this?
yeah. Now that's with, you know, a couple people fishing the boat, two, three people.
So what you're doing here is, what's the name of this lake again?
Angler.
This is Angler Lake.
Yeah.
So Angler Lake, you're looking for structure again, and mostly it's mid-lake structure, but you brought me by a couple places, the landslide or the rock slide.
Right. And basically what you want to look for is structure adjacent to deep water.
And there's fish everywhere in this lake.
Just about, yeah.
Just about
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Getting There is brought to you by Ontario, more to discover. From Fort Erie, Windsor, or Toronto, follow Highway 401 east to Highway 400 north. Connect with Highway 11 north through North Bay and Temagami. Turn on Highway 558 west to Mowat's Landing.
Right, you bang that power minnow right
nice.
under the boat. Now, you're saying to me you can come in here and you can catch 100 fish like this in a day?
Almost every single day, yeah.
Almost every cast. Like, that's only cast number 2, you know.
Yeah, the worst day I've had in here is 64.
64 is your worst day.
The worst day in 4 years, yeah.
You're always running worms across the bottom. You don't run a lot of plastics?
Not too much, but obviously they do work too.
Yeah, plastics work too, especially when they got a little power on them.
For sure.
Oh, you got one there?
There he is, yeah.
Now, how many fish on a real good day in here, right?
An average good day, we'll see about 80, 90 fish.
Okay, now that's an average fish for this lake?
Yeah, typical size. You got some smaller, some bigger.
Uh-huh. So what's the biggest fish that you've seen come out of this lake?
23 inches, so we're probably talking 7.5 pounds.
And you can come in here and catch 50 or 60 fish, and you're pretty well always going to get a 2-3 pound fish.
Even a little bigger than that,
Yeah?
yeah.
Here, you want me to hand you these?
You got pliers? Perfect.
I got pliers for you there.
This guy took it pretty deep.
It's a little fish factory here.
Come on, buddy, I don't want to hurt you.
It's off and running. And you like straight worms over plastic, eh? Don't tell me. I know you like straight worms over plastic.
For sure. Well, I have the hamburger, we can have the steak.
And the northern meat fisherman, okay. There we go, Ryan.
Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah, you know what? They're not hitting that aggressively, right? And you're telling me you can get 50 or 60 like this in a morning when you're in here?
Easy.
Okay, easy. That's what you told me the portage was. This guy says to me, come on, we're gonna go and do a little portaging. You know what? I'm too old and I'm too out of shape to doing portages like that. Ryan says to me last night, let's go for a little portage. He says, I've got a lake full of bass. And honestly, this lake is full of bass. What's the name of this lake again?
Angler.
Angler. Now, that's a pound, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now you're telling me you can catch 50 or 60 1 to 2 pound smallmouth bass in here.
No problem.
So he says to me last night, let's go portaging. And I haven't been portaging for 3 years, right? And I know why it's been 3 years. He says it's a short portage. We're gonna show it. We're gonna film it on the way out, this portage. But we're on the Lady Evelyn system, and this area is dotted with lakes, right? Mm-hmm. You've got portages for smallmouth bass like this. You've got portages for brook trout. You've got portages for lake trout, and you've got portages for walleye.
And northern pike.
And northern pike. But you've got to enjoy portages. I mean, yeah, it's getting back to nature, but nature was pretty brutal on me this morning doing this portage. It's a beautiful area, Ryan.
Getting to Red Pine Wilderness Lodge on Lady Evelyn Lake is an adventure all by itself. In fact, the bosses at the lodge, Janice and James Bowden, like to describe the experience of actually getting to the lake as venturing to a wilderness location that anywhere else in the province would require a flight by bush plane. Only on this trip, a float plane is not required, and neither is the price that usually goes with it. Just north of Temagami, Ontario is the start of the James Bay Frontier Tourist Region, and just north of the entrance to the region is Mowat Landing, where anglers begin a wilderness adventure the likes of which is found nowhere else in the province of Ontario. At Mowat Landing, visiting anglers can spend approximately 15 minutes crossing the Montreal River by barge, or they can motor their own boats to the base of the Matawapaka Dam. From there, anglers are transferred up and around the picturesque dam to Lady Evelyn Lake by trucks. The anglers utilizing the service of Red Pine Wilderness Lodge can have arrangements made to have their own boats loaded on trailers and transported around the big control dam to the waters of Lady Evelyn Lake. Once on the lake, there is still an 8-mile boat trip up the lake to the main lodge. Here on Lady Evelyn Lake, it's true north at its finest. Lady Evelyn Lake contains 19,000 acres and is full of walleye, northern pike, whitefish, brook trout, lake trout, and smallmouth bass.
Oh, there we go, Darryl.
Right at the back of the boat, eh, Ryan?
Oh, it's nice. Oh,
Oh, no, 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 no. How big's that fish?
yeah, looks like he's over 3.
Nice fish, nice fish.
Big small.
And again, you're doing something different, eh? One minute you had me anchored back in the bay, and then you said, let's go and do this point. That's a nice fish. It's a real nice fish, Ryan. Now, how many will you see like that in this lake? You get a few every day?
We get anywhere from 5 to sort of,
Yeah, well, tell me. Don't stop now. Tell me.
anywhere from 5 to about a dozen.
Like that.
Yep. This or even bigger. I mean, this fish is probably 17, 18 inches. We get them up to...
Up to 20?
We should see 20 inches today.
Now, what Ryan wanted to do was he said, let's go fish. We'll fish off this point, right where that rock was sticking out, right? And you said there's a series of humps coming out. Now,
yep.
I haven't got my Polaroids on. You've got them on. But I can see sometimes they're coming over 5 feet of water.
Yep.
And then we're dropping down off these humps, and it's going down 12, 15 feet.
That's right.
And you got these fish lying in the troughs.
Yep.
Nice looking fish.
That is
Ryan.
a pretty one. Mwah.
What's this? Mwah. What is that, eh? Something Lady Evelyn madness or what? That was a nice fish.
It's one of my girlfriends.
Going Fishing returns in a moment.
Pick one there.
Yep. Got him. Oh, another nice one.
Is it? Well, hit me with that rod. You're going to get a nice one.
Oh, he's not.
That's not as big as that first one.
He's not huge,
no.
but they still bend that rod.
You know, it's
though.
funny. They're just sitting in and out of here and there. Now, where would you rather fish? Back in those bays or off these points?
Pardon me?
Where would you rather fish? Off these points or back in those bays?
I hit them both.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, you're the head guide for Red Pine Lodge.
That's right.
Red Pine Wilderness Lodge, right? Do you get a lot of people wanting guides when they come up here?
Yes, especially people that have never been here before. It's a pretty big lake. It can be pretty hard to find the fish, especially if you've never fished it. So.
Now you're saying, now what are most of the customers coming up here for? Are they coming up for pike, walleye, or bass?
Mainly walleye, actually.
Okay.
But we do get bass and pike fishermen as well.
And I want to add something for you guys back at home with your own boats. If you want to work with Red Pine Wilderness Lodge, they'll actually get your boat in here. And I mean, that's different than most places I fish.
Yep.
Especially like this. This is the wilderness. This is the Canadian wilderness. And you're in a vast expanse of forests and Great Lakes, but you don't have to fly in here. It's amazing how they do this trip. Eh? They ferry the boats over the dams and everything.
Load it right on trailer and away you go.
Ryan, you pick one up there. You know,
Yes,
you've got the motor almost sitting up on the rock point, buddy. Good sized fish, eh?
Oh, that's
nice
big,
smallmouth.
big smallie.
Nice smallmouth.
Yeah.
You know what? They're a real pretty looking fish in here, eh?
Yeah, they do get nice green color.
Yeah.
The tiger stripes on them.
That's a dandy. That is a dandy. Watch you don't fall in there, pal. Pass him over here. That is a nice looking fish. Wow, that's a dandy. So again, what we're doing is we're fishing structure. We fish the humps out there.
Yep.
Ryan said, look, let's go off this point, and you can't see it because of the color of the water, but we've got a lot of rock ridges in here, and you're catching fish like this in the rocks.
Yep.
Give him your little kiss. Go ahead.
Mwah.
Canada's answer to Jimmy Houston. Nice fish.
There he goes.
There's one. You know what? Where's the mother? Like, you can catch these all day in here, eh?
No problem. Yeah. I've had some days where we anchor right off the rock slides here, and anchored in one spot, catch over 100 fish.
And a big fish in this lake is 5 pounds?
Yep.
The lake of mini fish, that's for sure. I just can't believe they're that thick down in here.
I'm putting on a little air show for you.
Yeah. They're everywhere in here.
Tell Grandpa we're looking for him. Here's another one, Darryl.
Right at the back of the boat again, eh, pal? You know, you're telling me to cast to the rock, and you're playing off the back of the motor.
Oh, he's not bad.
Ryan, you get a lot of families coming up here?
Quite a few, yeah.
And it's just a case of looking for the rocks, cast the rocks, and you're going to catch a bass?
Yep.
Now, what's an average evening for walleye for you up here?
Anywhere from, you know, sort of a dozen to 20, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have had some nights where there was about 3 weeks straight there, back in July, where we hit 30, 40, 50 walleye a night.
And you've got a slot up here. What's the slot size? 16
to 22 inches.
Okay, so you can keep the ones for shorelines under 16,
Yep.
and you people really don't want people taking 22 inches home anyways.
Well, that's correct. It's all sort of genetics, you know what I mean? Big fish are going to have big babies, so
Yeah.
that's why we like to see those released.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if I can catch one to release right now.
Should be one right along this rock wall.
Right off the rocks there, eh? Right off the rock wall. Now again, look where we are right now. We're in deep water, those cliffs are coming straight down, and we're not casting more than 10 feet from shore and then just working our bait slowly back to the boat. A little nicer.
Yeah, not huge, but he's all right.
Now what's your depth down here right now? You figure about 25 feet?
This fish probably came in about 25 feet.
And again, you're not gonna see 10-pound smallmouth bass up north, at least not this far, right?
Right.
Now again, you'll catch all the 1-pounders and 2-pounders you want up here. What you've got to do is find the structure. We're fishing the underwater shoals out there, we're fishing the points. And again, this wall goes straight down. So what happens is these smallmouth bass get bordered in, and all we're doing is fishing real close to the wall. We're finding the smallmouth.
And now for the Montana's Cookhouse tip of the week. Whenever you have the opportunity to visit a lodge or even an outpost cabin, check first with the operator to learn if one or more portage lakes are in the vicinity. Also be sure to pack along a topographical map of the region. These small lakes can be true diamonds in the rough.
Ryan
Oh, hey.
Edenborough, right off the wall again. Look at this. You know, if you told people that you were fishing within a boat length of the wall, and you like eating bass?
They're okay.
I love eating smallmouth bass when they're out of cold water. But I think this guy's gonna go back into the lake. But again, this is average or just under average for up here. You're not gonna see a lot of 6 and 7 pounders, but you're gonna catch a lot of 1s and 2s until your arms fall off.
You got that right.
What is the best day you've had up here?
177 in about 4 hours.
What'd you do? Have a punch clock and a timer?
Actually, yeah.
You know, you can come up to Red Pine and you can catch all the bass you want. You've got them on the main lake, right? You got them on Lady
yeah.
Evelyn.
Yeah.
But Ryan said to me, oh, we'll do some walleye in the morning and we'll do some portaging in the afternoon and we'll catch a lot of bass, right? How far is that portage?
6 minutes, 5-minute walk.
And then we got another walk.
Yep.
So our total's a half hour.
Yep.
You know, Ryan said to me, let's go for a portage. You look like you're in shape. I'll tell you what, I did the portage in. I know I'm not in shape. I hope I've got enough in me to get back out to Lady Evelyn. This is a great region, Ryan.
Keeps me coming back.
Ryan, at the back of the boat again, eh? Hey, kid, you're doing a number on me back there.
I think this is a really nice one here, Darryl.
What we've done is we've probably taken 30 fish out of this one pocket in here, but they've all been averaging between a half a pound and a pound and a half,
Yeah.
eh?
Not this one.
No, this is decent?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is a nice fish. It's a dandy fish. You know what? You're going over the back of the boat, jerk. Now that is a nice smallmouth.
Oh, yes, sir.
You don't want to drop that fish.
Nope.
Hey, you don't want to drop that fish?
Here we
Now
go.
that is what you're going to call a big Northern Ontario smallmouth bass.
Mwah.
You probably give the thing herpes or something. Nice belly on that fish. And again, it's tough getting past the small guys to get to the big guys.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, no two ways about that, but they're down there.
That's a dandy fish. That's a nice fish.
All right.
Now that fish is going to go, and listen, this is an honest thing. That fish is going to go 4 pounds.
Yep.
Not 6 pounds, not 8 pounds, but 4 pounds. And Ryan just got through telling me that he had some customers that were up on shore, right?
Yeah,
right
we're
here?
just fishing from shore, yeah.
And they caught 4 or 5 fish like that.
Like this size, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we have to say something else too. Like, look at the skies around us. We came in last night, it was raining. The winds were, well, we couldn't fish yesterday, it was too windy.
Right.
And it rained all night long. We've had a front go through. And there really are thousands of bass in this lake, but you've got to get past the little guys to get to the big guys.
Ones
Nice
like
fish.
this, yeah.
Give him another kiss.
One more, baby.
I can tell you went to
Mwah.
Sir Sanford Fleming. Gee. Janice Bowden. I guess I can call you the queen of Red Pine Wilderness Lodge.
I don't know if I'm a queen. The cook.
Janice, you told me before you were a school teacher in Hamilton, right?
13 years.
Again, this is paradise up here. Lady Evelyn, the area is just phenomenal. You know, from the time we got to the dam, right, and we lifted the boat over, and then we get here, and the fishing's great. You've got a phenomenal lake here. And again, we just did the portage, right? Great portage, I'll tell you. Now, you've been how many years here?
17 years.
Let me ask you something that's important. You do a lot of American customers, right?
Yes, we do. About 85%.
Okay, 85% of your customers are Yankees, right? And they're good Yankees, like,
Yes,
don't get me
yes,
wrong.
very good.
What's wrong with the Ontario people? I don't think they recognize what they're missing here.
Correct. I don't think people know we're here or that they can have a really good vacation here, and they just haven't recognized the value of the experience.
How far are we from Toronto?
About 5.5, 6 hours.
It's not 5.5 or 6 hours of bumper-to-bumper traffic, right? It's a nice ride up here.
No, for sure. It's very quick, and they've twinned everything, and there's bypasses.
And I want to stress this point again, and I really want to stress this. People in Ontario do not recognize what they're missing up here, you know? It's paradise, and I use the word paradise over and over. I sat with some of your American guests last night, and they're saying, look at the stars, you know? And I see the stars in Owen Sound, but you don't see the stars in Toronto and Hamilton like that, like you see the stars up here.
No, for sure. You can walk out the door and touch the Milky Way.
Yeah, you
It
can.
almost feels like you can.
You got great scenery, you've got fresh air, you've got phenomenal hosts here, and you got world-class fishing. So get up to Red Pine Wilderness Lodge, eh?
Right? Moose, bear, everything.
Let's go fishing.
Okay.
Going fishing returns with Shore Lunch.
James Bowden. Listen, I got to say thank you very much. I guess I can say you're the boss. Red
Well,
Pine?
no, I own the camp, but I'm sure not the boss. You already met the boss.
Again, don't pass up the opportunity to get up here to Lady Evelyn Lake. James, this is what I'm going to call a portage shore lunch. Is that okay to say that?
Yep.
My favorite's right on my left. You got the spaghetti, right? And you've got hash browns over there on the right.
That's right.
Okay. Main ingredient, we got walleye.
That's right. For our big camp shore lunch, we usually do a combination of walleye and pike.
Okay, what is this called?
That's the magic mix.
Magic mix. And you're not going to tell me what's inside it.
No, we'd have to kill you, and then they probably wouldn't put the show on, so.
And I see you got the red beer. What's it for?
Well, what we do is we put the walleye in there first just to marinate it a little bit and give it some moisture so we can put it in the magic
Into
mix.
the magic mix.
That's right.
So the red beer's a northern beer.
Yeah, it's red maple. We use either this or I sometimes get my U.S. friends to bring some Killians up for me.
Okay. But the beer's important, so you're going to put the fish in.
That's right.
So you're going to let those fillets swim in the beer, right?
That's right. We usually give it a few minutes while we're introducing people to the shore lunch.
James, I'm going to mention this again. I was talking to Janice earlier. I think the people in Ontario are missing it. They don't know what they're missing up here. The Americans seem to know, you know, how great this country is, and they seem to know better than people from Canada.
That seems to be the case. And we just dust these guys in this.
James Bowden, the master chef of the North. Listen, before we talk about what's on the plate, I got to say something. I'm seeing black ducks here.
Yeah, we've got lots of them on the lake. All the camps or cottages have their own little population of black ducks.
You said that this is probably the second biggest in Ontario?
I would say between us and Cornwall, yeah.
You know, these black ducks are almost extinct, so it's nice to see them up here. Listen, I've got the hash browns, I got the spaghetti, and I got the Lady Evelyn Lake walleye, right? Can I just try this? I'll tell you what, this is scrumptious. Now, what's in the mix?
I can't tell you.
I know you have to tell me.
Yeah, and then we'd have to drag you out of here because, man, it's a long way back to the town.
Listen, if you get the chance, don't pass up the opportunity to visit Red Pine Wilderness Lodge, and they can get you on the internet and they can see you at the shows you do. You do the Toronto shows and all that, right?
That's right, yeah.
This Lady Evelyn Lake area is fabulous. The scenery's great, the air is refreshing, the fishing's phenomenal. It's just paradise. We're gonna eat and then we're gonna go fishing
Great.
again. Let's go for it.
For more information on all our going fishing destinations, visit goingfishingtv.com. Going Fishing has been brought to you by Ontario, More to Discover, Abu Garcia, and by Montana's Cookhouse. Going Fishing would like to thank the following fine sponsors.
Going fishing, going fishing. Baby smiling my way, gonna have a great day. No competition. Going fishing.